All right, let's jump right in. We're about to go on a pretty incredible journey. But here's the twist. We're not just going to watch. For this, you are going to be a wild horse. We're going to experience its entire life, from its very first breath to its last, all from its own point of view. And boom, it happens just like that. 1 second, there's nothing. The next, you're on the ground. You're lying in a huge, open field somewhere in the American West. Your mom's right there, giving you a few nudges, trying to get you up and moving. And right there, that's your very first test. See that big stallion over there? The one who looks like he owns the place? Well, he kind of does. That's the leader. And that's your dad. He's the one who runs this whole herd, protects everyone, calls all the shots. So you gotta wonder, right? What does it actually take to become that guy? To be the one in charge? The answer? It's a lifetime of battle. Seriously, there are no days off out here. Every single moment, from these first wobbly steps you're trying to take, all the way to your very last stand, it's a fight. A constant fight for food, for safety, and eventually for power. And you know what? That fight, it starts right now. All right, section 1, the first steps. As a foal, your whole world is pretty tiny. It's basically your mom, the rest of the herd, and that's about it. It feels safe, right? But don't get too comfortable, because even in this little bubble, the lessons of the wild are coming at you hard and fast. So, your first ever to-do list is pretty straightforward. First up, get these wobbly spaghetti legs to actually work. It's way harder than it looks. Step 2, find the all-you-can-drink milk bar under mom. Then you gotta go meet the other foals, probably with a little nose sniff, and before you know it, you've graduated from milk to munching on grass. Yep, you're growing up all right. And right when you start to feel like you've got this whole being alive thing figured out, this sharp, weird smell hits the air. You look up, and there it is, a wolf. And before you can even process what's happening, your dad, the lead stallion, is right there, like a wall of pure muscle, snorting, stamping the ground. The wolf takes one look at him, does the math, and decides, yeah, not today. And that's it. You've just learned your first and maybe most important lesson. Safety has to be earned every single day. Then winter comes, and this is where things get really serious. Your coat starts to get thicker, which helps. When that wind just bites right through you, the whole herd huddles up, forming this tight circle, and they push all the foals, including you, right into the middle where it's warmest. You watch the grown-ups and you learn how to scrape through the snow to find little bits of dry grass. Right now, survival is a team effort, but that for now is key. Yeah, that team spirit, it has an expiration date. A couple of years fly by, you're not a little foal anymore, you're a young colt full of energy. And the lead stallion, your own dad, starts looking at you differently. He doesn't see his kid anymore. He sees a future rival, a threat. And that means one thing. It's time for you to get out. And man, the change is like night and day. Life in the family herd? It was safe. You were protected. But life as a bachelor? You're on your own. Totally. Kicked out by your own dad, forced to find your own food, and now you're the one facing down wolves alone. It's absolutely brutal. But here's the thing. It's the only way you'll ever get a shot at ruling a herd yourself. But okay, you're not completely alone. You eventually find other young guys who got the boot, and you form a sort of bachelor gang. Life settles into a new rhythm. Find food, don't become food, and scarp with the other guys. You're always watching, always learning their moves, just biding your time, trying to fight your way up the pecking order in this rough and tumble new family. And these fights, they're not just for fun. They're school. Every kick, every bite, every time you chase or get chased, it's a lesson. You're learning how to read another horse, how to know when to attack, and, just as important, when to back down. You're basically being forged in the fire of constant battle. Every scar you get is like another page you've read in the textbook of survival.
Okay, so you spend years in the bachelor herd, years of fighting, learning, getting stronger. You've honed your skills, you've built up your power, and then the day comes. The moment you've been training for your entire life. It's time to go take what you believe is yours.
By the time you're 5 years old, you are an absolute powerhouse. You're in your prime. You've made it through brutal winters. You've outsmarted predators, and you've fought your way to the top of the bachelor heap. You are ready. You find an older stallion, you challenge him, and you win. You claim his mares. And just like that, you are now the leader. But hey, don't think this is a corner office with a view. Being the boss is a 24/7 grind. It's relentless. Now you're the one on the front line, fending off wolves and mountain lions. You're the one responsible for finding fresh grass and water for the entire herd. And all the while, you've got one eye over your shoulder, watching for those ambitious young bucks, just like you used to be, who want to take your spot. The fight, it literally never ends.
And for years, you are king. Your raw power, mixed with all that hard-won wisdom from a lifetime of fighting, it makes you practically unbeatable. A true force of nature. You are the undisputed ruler of your little patch of the plains. And for a while, life is good. You protect your family, and in their own way, they give you purpose.
But we all know nothing lasts forever, right? The wheel keeps turning. That same path of ambition and struggle you walk to get to the top, well, there's always another young stallion walking it right behind you. And the decline, it happens slowly at first, and then it happens all at once. Around age 12, you start to feel it. The muscles ache a little longer. You're just a half step slower than you used to be. And then one day, he shows up. A young stallion, the spitting image of you years ago, just overflowing with power and energy. The fight? It's over before it really begins. You lose. And just like that, the family you've spent years protecting, they just turn and walk away. Not even a goodbye. And how's that for gratitude, huh? That's the cold, hard truth of the wild. No thank yous, no retirement party. Nature doesn't do sentimentality. You served your purpose, and now you're done. You're cast out. And for the first time in a very, very long time, you are truly, completely alone. So you just wander. You drift across the same plains you used to rule, but now you're just an old ghost. Winter sets in again, but this time there's no herd to huddle with, no circle of warmth to protect you from the biting wind. You find a little shelter under a cliff, maybe the same spot where you once stood guard over your sleeping family. But now, it's just you. And then you see something familiar, a shadow moving in the distance. It's that old wolf, the one you've faced down and chased off more times than you can even remember. He's back, but this time he's brought friends. His whole pack is with him. They can smell it. They know you're old. They know you're slow. And they know you're alone. This is it, the end of the line. So after all that, after a lifetime of battle, what's the takeaway? You fight for every single sunrise. You claw your way to the top. You rule a kingdom, only to end up as a meal for an old enemy. It's such a brutal, relentless cycle. It really makes you think, doesn't it? In the wild, what is survival, really? Is it a victory, or is it just putting off the inevitable for as long as you can?